Hi, I'm Ruzaina Haji. I grew up eating traditionally prepared meals by my grandmother and family. In my travels to many destinations, I enjoyed various cuisines with exotic flavors, which has definitely left a mark in my cooking. My recipes are a concoction of childhood memories and my travels around the world, and mainly to give prominence to those really tasty dishes that are less talked about. This is the Minority Taste. Here in the Minority Taste cooking show, I'll be doing a lot of savory recipes. The main reason is I grew up eating a lot of savory recipes. My grandmother taught and gave me mainly savory recipes, and in my travels around the world, I was drawn towards savory recipes and savory cuisine. I'm hardly a sweet tooth and not much of a baker. However, I have found out really easy and shortcut methods in making sweets, especially Western sweets, because my family, especially my husband and my son, loves sweets. So these are really easy methods on how to make sweets at home. Today I'm going to make truffles. I know that there are millions of videos on the internet on how to make truffles and various kind of truffles, but today I'm going to make a little bit of a different and really something new that you can gift your friends and family during any celebration. So let's get into making the new exciting flavors of chocolate truffles. Now when you make truffles, it's obvious you need heavy cream, and you put chocolate and you melt it, and you have to use double boiling, and you have to do so many things to get that right consistency. Not my cup of tea. I just use any kind of cooking chocolate. Here I'm just using milk chocolate. You can use a brand that you like, and normal white chocolate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be heating it in the microwave. I'm going to tell you the exact way on how to melt chocolate, especially if it's already milk chocolate, like you know. The trick is not to let it smoke. So you have to just put it in a pot or like a microwavable bowl and keep putting 10 seconds to it. So you keep melting in 10 seconds. I think one bar would take about 30 seconds. Even 2 bars together would take about 30 to 40 seconds, and that's more than enough. Don't let it smoke, because once the chocolate, especially eating chocolate, once it hits that smoking point, the taste is all ruined. So make sure you don't smoke it. So break your chocolate into just pieces randomly. You don't have to be all ladylike with it. I keep telling you guys, because I like to do things a bit rough in my kitchen. So you just put it in the microwave, and I'm gonna start with 10-20 seconds because there's 2 bars in there. But you have to keep checking. Once you see that the chocolate is already melting, then just stop and take it out. 2 milk chocolate bars roughly took about close to a minute, but I would say about 50 seconds. So it should look like this. It has to be on the verge of melting, and that is your perfect consistency for this. Melt the rest of the big chunks in that heated chocolate. Don't heat it any more than this. Even if there is big chunks, the chocolate is hot enough and the chunks would melt gradually. And then you keep this in the fridge for about half an hour to 15 minutes till it's firmly set. So you basically do the same with the white chocolate as well. Take it and microwave it until it's a little bit melted, and then pop it in the fridge till it's firmly set. Usually it's half an hour in the fridge, but the day I say that I'm making truffles, there's no patience at home. My whole family is like in a topsy-turvy real rush to have the truffles, so I pop it in the freezer, and it takes about 15 minutes there. In the meantime, this is salted fried cashew nuts. Make sure it's salted, because I'm going to show you why. Because as I told you before, we are going to do different flavors. So salted cashew nut is what we are going to use for the chocolate. So roughly pound it, and we are looking for big biteable chunks, not the powder. So it has to look something like this. You can make it smaller than that, but make sure it's biteable little pieces. So what you're looking at now, in my freezer this took exactly a little bit, about 15 minutes. So you have to keep checking what you're looking at. It has to be soft enough so that you can mold it the way you want, but not hard. See, you can mold this. So that's where you do it. Now you take a teaspoon or a little scoop, or any little small apple scoop or a fruit scoop, and that's the consistency you're looking at. I'm mixing about 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Now this is about 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Just make sure you put enough cinnamon so that the cinnamon flavor will come through. Now, I promised you that I'm going to make different flavored chocolate truffles. For this, add a little bit of crushed black pepper, just half a teaspoon. And that is your first mix. So let's make the truffles. So touch a little cocoa powder first so that the chocolate doesn't stick into your fingers. Take a scoop of the chocolate and you mold it the way you want. It's going to have a Play-Doh consistency, and then you add it onto your beautiful coating of cocoa powder, cinnamon powder, and a hint of crushed black pepper. That is the surprise element in this particular truffle. So I made a chocolate ball here, and then I'm going to add it into crushed cashew nuts, or that chunky cashew nuts that and what you're going to do is you're just going to press it until you get ample salted cashew nuts coating this chocolate ball. Make sure you press in the chocolate ball so that all that cashew nut will be coated really well around the chocolate ball, and it should look something like this. You can do this with white chocolate as well. White chocolate and salted cashew nuts. So this one is pistachio slices with desiccated coconut. I have mixed it, so you can mix it all together now. And this is our coating for our white chocolate. Let's make it. This is going to be a little bit tricky because your hands and fingers are not going to be powdered. So what you do is you completely drop it in completely and then coat it as soon as you can, and then turn it into a ball. Clearly you can say that I'm not much of a baker, but I know my flavors. So this is what you do. This is pistachio and desiccated coconut. Make sure that you work really fast with the white chocolate, because white chocolate tends to melt really fast, and then you keep popping it in the fridge or the freezer in my case to keep it set or in one shape or to work well with it. So it's a little bit of a mess, but I assure you it's going to be super delicious. Now this is my personal favorite. This is chili coconut with white chocolate. I know it all sounds so bizarre and so out of the ordinary, but I assure you these are wonderful flavors to work with. In Sri Lankan Airlines, while I was flying for Sri Lankan Airlines as a business class stewardess, we used to serve a white chocolate with a little bit of chili on it, and that is the inspiration behind this, the white chili chocolate with coconut. The coconut is my addition to it. You can go less with the chili if you want to, just a dash of chili flakes would do, but I love it with that extra hit of chili because the white chocolate is very sweet, so the coconut and the chili and the white chocolate just gives that beautiful flavor. I know it sounds so bizarre, but don't diss it till you try it. So here you go, my beautiful and exciting flavored chocolate truffles. As you can see, this is the cinnamon and black pepper truffle. Now the consistency of it should be soft enough to bite, not rock solid, so be mindful of that. Look how beautiful it is. And then the coconut and pistachio truffle, the salted fried cashew nut truffle, chocolate and white chocolate, and my personal favorite, chili coconut white chocolate truffle. Now again, I should remind you that you shouldn't worry that it looks so red and chili. Chili flakes in UAE is not that hot, so that's why I put a little extra so that I'll get that little kick. But if you're using South Asian chili flakes, make sure just to add just a tiny bit, just sparingly, so that it gives a nice look for the truffle and it will give that really nice chili chocolate flavor. I hope you try this out, and as I said before, you can give this to your friends, your family, you can offer this at a dinner party. It's something new and exciting, something different. I will tell you the winner. I'm not much of a sweet tooth, but I can vouch that my husband and his family are all sweet tooths, and according to my husband, he just loves the taste of the salted fried cashew nut chocolate truffle that I made, because he's like, it's such a nice balance. And the other winner is the coconut pistachio. Now the cinnamon and crushed black pepper truffle, chocolate truffle, is an acquired taste, but people who have tried it, some really didn't get it, but the ones who loved it really fell in love with it, especially if you like cinnamon and a little bit of spice. My favorite now, if you like sweet and savory like me, the chili coconut truffle is just but who am I? I'm not a chocolate lover, but I'm sure chocolate lovers out there, the bakers, the sweet makers would really love to try this new variation of chocolate truffles. Hope you try, and see you in the next episode of The Minority Taste. Bye!